This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Recording has started. Hello, everyone. This is Charlie, the Professor Esser, coming to you on the Capes and Lunatics Network, an affiliate of Southgate Media, with my co-host, as always, Phil.
Me and Perich.
Yes, and this is Super Connectivity. Welcome once again, folks. Sorry, I'm being a little low-key tonight. Too much energy can lead to explosions. And you know where I learned that, Philip?
Where at?
In the Immortal Hulk.
Yes!
Number 36. Too much energy leads to explosions because the Hulk did a boom boom. Yeah, I don't even know what happened here. Apparently...
Well, the leader.
Yeah, well, obviously the leader.
Yes.
Leader happened. Hulk did a boom boom. Rick Jones stretched his body to protect them because... And, you know, here's what I'll say. This is a fun thing because that was the gag with the leader back years ago, is that he could mind control other gamma-induced beings.
Yep.
Though, like, why didn't that work on the Hulk? I don't know.
Rage.
Rage, yeah.
Oh, but you had to have loved this issue because, I mean, you get the Absorbing Man and Titania.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. The love between... I want to love, like, Titania and Creel. Okay? If I'm going to pick my supervillain love match, it's these two. Because all throughout it, Creel's like, hey, babe, just be careful, you know? Don't go fighting the Hulk. And he's like, no, I'm going to protect my man. And then, you know... Hulk rips off Creel's arm and stuff. But, of course, we all know, now we know. And that is an interesting thing because, you know, Al kind of let that slip in our interview with him. He didn't, like, explicitly, but I think he wasn't sure, like, okay, did that come out yet? Did this come out yet? And it was spoilery after you read it. Because I think he said, oh, yeah, you know, because Rick's not really in there. And it's like, wait, what? I didn't call it out at the time. But yeah.
And he even said something about the Absorbing Man always gets like ripped up ever since like Secret Wars now. People just want to like rip him up. So hey, guess. Yep.
Yes. But this was great. And I see Titania is a supervillain heroine I can get behind. Honestly. That's the thing. It's like if Titania goes and owns all the Gotham villains, you don't think that's her being a Mary Sue. You think, oh, yeah, no, that makes total sense. She was designed to take on the She-Hulk. You know?
Yes.
That's who she is. She is absolutely a top-tier villain. Just the same way that Creel is a Thor-tier villain. These are two beings that when they beat people up, you don't go like, oh, that's ridiculous. They couldn't handle that. It's like, no. They routinely handle these people at this level all the time. But no, I mean, honestly, it's Mary Ellen, right? Mary Ellen is the name of Titania, or Mary. It's Mary.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, Mary and Crusher. I don't know what Crusher's first name is.
Is it Carl? I thought that.
Oh, that's right. It's Carl Crusher Creel. And although it's kind of interesting because, you know, when we see who actually punches the Hulk in the first, when he first comes in. Oh, no, that is the Absorbing Man. I wasn't sure because at first I thought, wait, is that supposed to be Puck? Because it looks like he has a beard, but it's not Puck. I think they maybe accidentally drew a beard on him. Yeah, it looks like they accidentally drew a beard on Crusher.
Well, I know Puck's there with like a, you know, like an energy gun or something.
Yeah, Puck is there. And so I thought at first it was like, oh, wow, they saying that Puck like punched him. But no, that was supposed to be Creel, so that's fine.
Yeah, yeah, because Creel attacks him and he rips his arm. Hulk rips his arm off, and then Titania comes in and Hulk's knocking her around, and that's when he decides, I can absorb gamma.
Yes. Oh, and for what it's worth, Charlene is back.
Yep.
I was worried that she was gone, but he said, no, she's back. And again, this is where poor Al, it's like, I'm doing all these things. I don't know when all these books are coming out. It's all COVID. So Charlene is back. She's trying to pull the Hulk out of this because, Hulk go boom boom. And Hulk's sad. Hulk did not want go boom boom.
Oh, yeah.
Hulk did not want to hurt people.
And on TV, yeah.
Yeah.
We get the return of Del Fry, the first.
Yeah. Although, again, not Del Fry, because Del Fry is a gamma-irradiated corpse.
Yep.
But because he's gamma-irradiated, that means the leader can control him. But no, what I like about this is we also have Jackie McGee running into the fight expressly because she understands that the Hulk can be reasoned with right now.
Mm-hmm.
The Hulk, you don't beat him up. He's the dumb Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
He's childlike Hulk. He's not trying to fight you. You're only going to give him a reason to fight you if you keep on punching.
Just because he doesn't have Banner or Joe's vocabulary doesn't mean you can't reason with him.
Well, yeah, but even beyond that, he's actually the most peaceful Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
The child like Hulk is the Hulk want be left alone Hulk.
Exactly.
And you can also see that he's like very sad because he hurt things, And honestly, as you said with the last bit reveal here, Creel as Gamma incarnate. That sounds like fun. Fun in the sun. And of course, as he becomes that. Oh, by the way, already on my pull list.
She-Hulk, Immortal She-Hulk #1, yeah.
Is she coming back?
It's only a one-shot, yeah, but yeah.
Oh, it's only a one-shot?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it says a special one-shot by Al Ewing.
How much do you want the man to write? He's already doing Immortal Hulk and Guardian.
I will let anyone write She-Hulk, especially me. Or Lilith. Lilith can write She-Hulk. I'll trust her. But yeah, so Del Fry's back, and he's melting stuff. Yeah, Al, you kill people way too casually in this show.
Well, I was gonna say Immortal She-Hulk #1's probably Al. Hey, he kills off She-Hulk and Empire, and then he brings her back. She's a gamer.
Yeah,
person,
well, because she's immortal, because she's a She-Hulk.
Hey, writers, he cleans up his own messes. I like that.
There you go. You gotta appreciate that. But yeah, I love that. But before we get to our next comic book, let's talk about New Mutants, which is coming to a theater not near you, not near me, on August 28th.
Supposedly.
This is the most interesting play I think I've ever seen. Because for what it's worth, there are theaters that are open elsewhere in the country, not in any major markets. But there is this interesting aspect of the idea that within their contract, they have to have 2 weeks after its initial showing.
Yeah.
Before they can sell it on demand. So it's like, okay, fine. If they want a movie, here's a movie opening 28th. If you can't show it in your theater, that's not our problem.
So if it comes out August 28th, if they have to wait 2 weeks, that's like the middle of September. So
yeah, which is, hey, just in time for Halloween.
Yeah, and a lot of the shows are delayed because they had this delay filming because of COVID. So yeah, if people are looking for stuff to watch in September and their new shows aren't back, I can see it, I guess.
Yeah, well, but what it is, it's this idea that they're trying to thread the needle on it, and it's honestly a product that they probably had minimal faith in to start.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that started on the last studio. They probably had input because everyone knew where everything was going beforehand. So it's not like there wasn't a Marvel guy saying, hey, just so you know, I've got word from the guys on the other side of the street that this is what they'd like to see done here. You know? So, who knows what we're going to get, on the 28th. But we're getting something.
Mm-hmm.
And for what it's worth, in other places, Mulan is opening in China. And the rest of the world has movie theaters.
Yep.
So it's like, do we just hold off on releasing things because of the U.S. market? Or do we just acknowledge the fact that, you know what? That's not the only market. And Americans won't wear freaking face masks.
But again, though, are they worried that people are going to like pirate it over there and people are going to be like looking for it over here if the movie theater?
I don't. Again, to me, that's the theater's problem. At this point, especially for something like New Mutants.
I know, just put it out already.
Yeah, it's like at best we're hoping we break even. If it's a breakout hit, great. And that's the thing. It's like even if people bootleg episode 1, if it's a huge bootleg, if everyone loves it and is getting it on bootleg, that tells them first off that there's an even bigger market if they actually sell it.
Plus, Disney's not even losing any money. Fox spent all the money on New Mutants, I think.
Oh yeah, exactly.
They acquired it, so I don't know why they just don't put it out on Disney Plus because it's like
because that's the thing. They want to maintain these theater relationships still.
Yeah, I guess, but
because at the end of the day, first off, they don't want to be seen as the studio that kicks the theaters when they're down. Universal got that rap, and everyone loves the freaking rock trolls or whatever they're called.
The trolls,
but the fact of the matter is, they kicked the theaters when they were down, and that made the theaters angry. And although Disney isn't afraid of theaters, they don't see any reason to make them angry.
Yeah. And did I see somewhere that now they're saying companies can buy theater chains now? So it's coming. Disney, if anybody's buying theaters.
And for what it's worth, AMC has been super accommodating for everybody. AMC's been saying, oh, no, we totally understand why Disney can't do a wide release yet. We're just trying to do our part.
I mean, the theaters need help. I mean, maybe some of these companies should buy. I mean, did you see? I guess is it AMC when they open up?
AMC is like bankrupt. They're in a bad way.
I guess they're saying, I don't know if this is all the time or just for a while, but they're going to be doing 1920s prices, so tickets can be like.
No, that's just the first day. That basically the big reopen.
Yeah,
which is not it's not a company wide reopen, but it's like, and it's before, and for what it's worth, it's before New Mutants comes out.
Wow,
so there for one day that you can come to the theater for 15 cents and obey whatever social distance rules exist in your state. Which if you're in Louisiana, probably nothing. So,
well, I looked on ours. Ours isn't open yet, but they already have a list on there. I guess when they do open, you're gonna have to wear a mask and practice social distancing. So they're probably, if anyone not in your group's probably gonna have to sit a couple things.
Well, they're probably gonna have a bag over every other chair.
Mm-hmm.
So everything's gonna be seated at half capacity.
Oh yeah.
Which is minor. I don't mind them putting the bag over the chair. I want them to leave the extra cup holder though.
Yes.
We have lived too long with the tyranny of one cup holder for two chairs. End it! End it, theater chains! End it now! Oh, yeah. But that's that. It's, I'm actually excited if it, we do have drive-ins that are available in New Jersey, and they just opened a drive-in in Newark. So if they were to show New Mutants, I would totally go to that.
We have like one or two around here, but also I think it might only be one weekend. But like certain select Walmarts, I guess they're going to be doing like drive-in movie things.
Well, you know what the biggest problem with drive-in movie theaters right now is?
What?
You can't go to the drive-in movie theater until like after 9 or 10 o'clock.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Till dark.
It's like if you were going to the drive-in movie theater in December, you could go at a reasonable human hour.
Oh yeah, 5 or 6 o'clock. Yeah.
Now you have to go to this. Which is although one of those weird things I was thinking about today. Just every so often you'll go to a restaurant in New York that's actually an old converted garage. I always wondered, like, if you lift up the wall of the building, so that it's open air. Does the whole restaurant now become open air?
Mm.
And can you have seating in that inside the restaurant as the open air part of the restaurant? It's a question I have. So anyway,
Did you want to talk the finale of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Oh yes, yeah. Oh man, I've got so many finales because I finished Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I finished Stargirl. I finished Harley Quinn and Doom Patrol. Oh my god, so many things to talk. So let's talk Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. real quick because Maz and I are talking it tomorrow.
That's fine.
And I've only seen it once, but big spoiler. I expect to see Deke in Loki.
I did see you put that up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my big belief is that because here we have Deke. He has time travel technology. He is now head of S.H.I.E.L.D., but like for reals, with whatever S.H.I.E.L.D. agents are left, he's got them. Yeah,
in that alternate timeline. But it's because it's funny. Did you think it was funny at the end of the episode? They kind of updated you where everyone was, except Deke. They mentioned him, but they didn't show what he was doing.
Well, yeah, but because they don't have a way to contact him.
Yeah, but I mean, the show could
although arguably they should be able to because they have the temporal GPS.
But I mean, I understand they can't contact him, but the show could have showed us what he was up to.
Well,
but
yes.
They didn't. Yeah.
They didn't. I actually think that is something to do with the fact that he wasn't a central S.H.I.E.L.D. agent at this point.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
So, for example, we didn't see what Roxy Glass is up to. We didn't see what Deathlock is up to. Yeah, but I'm just saying there were people that got left out.
I'm just saying maybe there's something to your theory that something else is coming for him. Like in the Loki series or something. So
well, I do think the idea of him forming the Time Variance Authority because he has this time travel technology, and that's the idea is that Deke now has time travel technology. He is from a non-existent timeline. A timeline that may never come into existence or that maybe does come into existence. He doesn't know. But he also knows that, and that's the thing, if there's anything that was said about this universe is they couldn't abandon this universe. This is a universe full of people who need they need their heroes. They need heroes to rise in this universe because it's 1983 that we're not going to get a hero for a while. We may know where Cap is buried, but someone has to dig him up. And we don't have a Hulk or a Thor or anything yet. And the idea of that these people needed protection was a central idea here. So they send the Chronicoms over into the home dimension, which is cool. No argument there. And then, we never see Deke again, except we see Deke gets put in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it's a bunch of recruits and they got no one to look up to. And as Deke says, he's already established in this timeline. He has a following. He is the reclusive rock star of this universe, and that is a powerful place to be. So I like the idea of him staying there, of him forming this Time Variance Authority, and us seeing them again. Because it is a variant timeline, and that is literally what the Time Variance Authority deals with. Is this idea that you are altering time, and because of that, that's causing problems. And that's the idea. Like, I think it's too much in the Time Variance Authority. We think of them as the bad guys trying to stop the heroes from accomplishing something. Much in the way that Deke, in his first run of this arc, is like, oh, I could kill Malik. I could kill Freddie Malik. And that's going to save lives. And then they say, no, you can't, because that's what the Chronicoms want. If they want it, it must be bad for us. So you need to preserve it. And then understanding this idea that there are things that must be preserved and there are things that must change. Especially if someone's going back in time. So if someone goes back in time to create this alternate timeline that is now going to stress this time-space continuum, then yes, Deke and his Time Variance Authority members of S.H.I.E.L.D. are going to need to go back in time and stop it.
And I mean, I think like Deke even pointed out, you could get 2 Dekes. I mean, this one's already in the alternate timeline, but we've seen Fitz and Simmons have a kid. If she grows up and has a kid, we could get Deke later on in this timeline.
And specifically, it is his mom.
Yeah,
that they had a daughter, and so this is their daughter, and this is the daughter they had, who created Deke, arguably.
Or will, yes.
And for what it's worth, Deke is a genius.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the neat thing about him, is he is this guy, because he is a scavenger and a nutter, we don't get that he is actually super smart as well.
Yeah.
Because he has that superhuman potential. He's like Peter Parker. He's got that superhuman potential, but he can build on that. And so I liked that. I like what we got with Deke. I'm really hoping we get Deke in Loki.
Oh, yeah.
I really hope we're not done with these guys. I really hope, my absolute hope, is that we're going to see Mac as the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. in future episodes.
I mean, didn't they kind of call that out? I mean, they put him in like the Nick
Fury coat and
stuff. Yeah, they kind of suggested.
They suggested that he's definitely in command of a helicarrier.
He's wearing the Fury coat and stuff.
Yeah, he's got the Fury coat. And honestly, I see no reason why not to do that. For what it's worth, you can still keep Samuel L. Jackson as the covert agent Nick Fury, who's always at odds with S.H.I.E.L.D. Let's be honest here. Nick Fury has basically been battling S.H.I.E.L.D. almost as long as S.H.I.E.L.D. has existed.
And you know who Nick Fury might run into? You know who else might show up the next time Nick Fury shows up in a movie? Nick Fury, last time we saw him, was in space? You get Daisy and Sousa with Fury.
Yes, as the Astro Ambassadors.
Exactly.
Which also suggests that that's a sanctioned operation.
Sword.
Yes, Sword, which if you saw the maybe questionable eBay item, did you see that?
No, what?
Okay, so the pager. Apparently someone put up on eBay a cast that they say they bought at an auction. Where they say, yes, this is the original cast that was used for the mold for the Captain Marvel pager. And if you look on the back of it, it has the S.H.I.E.L.D. logo, but just below it, it has a sword logo.
Ooh.
Now, the person says they have all the documentation to show this is an actual thing. They bought it at auction. It's real. And for what it's worth, things like this obviously do exist, and they do get sold at auction. They're old props that no one has a use for. And if people really wanted to know all the secrets, they could, it's out there to be had. And the fact of the matter is they sell these expressly for people to find these secrets. Because if they've put sword on it, then it's like, yeah, well, we're going to have Nick Fury in Tahiti at the end of Spider-Man. So might as well, let people know sword's a thing.
And I mean,
they've been asking for it. There it is. It's sword.
I mean, I don't know about a TV show, but we've got enough cosmic movies coming up that sword could show up. I mean, Eternals, Captain Marvel 2, Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
And I think that's the point. And that's the thing. I don't think we're getting rid of Daisy.
Oh, no.
I don't think we're getting rid of Sousa, because this is what I have said. And I've said this on our other show, over on Enough Said, as well as Full Stream Ahead. Sousa has bulked up crazily.
Yes, I heard you say that. Yes.
Sousa has gone Lou Ferrigno. Between, if you see Agent Carter Season 2 and Sousa Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., he definitely looks like Disney bought him a trainer. He is like Joe Piscopo big now.
Well, I think it works doubly too, because one, they probably do have plans for him, and two, it makes him look older than he did, in Agent Carter too.
Well, yeah, but it's not like they had him, Thor out. They didn't grow out. Didn't have Sousa with a gut. They had Sousa with abs.
Oh yeah.
They had Sousa looks like he could be Captain America.
Well, I mean, he was an active agent up until they pulled to second they pulled him out of that timeline.
Exactly. And for what it's worth, it's like just a few years after Agent Carter, but he's also gotten really, really ripped.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. Like, to me, an actor doesn't do that just for fun.
Oh no.
Because I mean, maybe they do, and and honestly, here's what I'll say: if this was post-COVID, because what's his name? The guy the Indian fellow who's going to be in Eternals.
Is that Kunal?
Yeah, I forget his name, but he was on the Daily Show. But
oh yeah, he bulked up.
Yeah, he bulked up, and of course, he's actually gotten even bigger now, according to his wife, because he got locked down in COVID, and just before that, he said, "Oh, I should buy myself some free weights. Now that I've gotten all in shape for the movie, I should probably maintain this. So he gets some free weights. So now he's stuck at home, and all he's been doing is lifting weights. So he's gotten even bigger, according to his wife, which is cool. But that idea so I could totally see Sousa in a post-COVID world being all bucked up for no reason, just to bulk up. But I really feel that Disney said, no, we've got big plans for you. You're going to the gym. You're in the next Guardians of the Galaxy.
I think they have plans for all of them, because I mean, they didn't kill anybody. They made sure to show us we know where everyone's at.
Mm-hmm. For real. And I mean, even Coulson as the Robo Coulson.
I'm going to travel the world.
Coulson. Yeah. It would not surprise me if he doesn't show up. And here's the fun fact about it. Here's the thing. If he shows up and someone says, I heard you were dead. He's like, well,
I got better.
Well, no, but he could say, I'm not technically the Coulson
Yeah.
And, and we can say, oh, because he's an LMD. And then we also have the fact that now, apparently, all the Chronicoms are the LMDs in S.H.I.E.L.D. Because they gave them empathy. Because May got the power, and then Korra has super energy powers. And craziness ensued. It was an amazing finale, and I loved it. Stargirl had a finale too.
Yes, and you got Grundy.
I got my Grundy, and I got the Grundy I wanted, which is the sympathetic Grundy.
Yes.
The only thing that bugs me is we didn't get a where is Grundy.
Oh, at the end?
Yeah, I wanted Grundy in the swamp, just sort of.
Maybe they're saving that for season 2.
Yeah, but and that was the thing. And part of me wonders, like, if they had not fought Grundy, would Grundy have, like, when Grundy got out, was his goal? Because part of me was thinking, is it possible Grundy's going to just beat the heck out of Icicle?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, just because he could be conditioned too. I mean, Brainwave could have just,
yeah,
brainwashing or something. I mean,
but they had the blockers on there, so he might have been free of that kind of stuff. Big disappointments in this. I wanted Brainwave's son to appear in his mind to fight him. And then what we got instead was an interesting twist where Brainwave pretends to be his son.
Mm-hmm.
And that was dark and twisted. But then, and that was, it annoyed me because we didn't get a resolution to what made Brainwave switch. Because he goes from cold to a human being, and then he's back to being the cold person, which suggests someone manipulated his mind.
Maybe I thought it was just that he couldn't have his memories, but once he got his memories back, he switched up full on evil again.
Yeah, but I don't see. To me, that doesn't track for me.
Yeah,
it tracks for me that he actually evolved as a human being until the Dr. Dragon started dealing with him. I love that Dr. Dragon gets stabbed by his daughter, and then she still goes on to fight the good guys.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like, no, you raised me to be an evil, supervillain, and so I am ending you.
You should have expected this.
Yes, he should have. He should have realized that, this was not a good way to raise a child. He's, for someone who's so smart, why are you so stupid? There's a drop for you, Phil. And it is problematic in that sense, but I liked how it ended. A little disappointed we see Starman at the end.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm hoping that's not Starman, that's the Changeling or something, some kind of person that is establishing a negative thing. And for what it's worth, it's in North Hollywood, which I think is where Courtney's biological father.
Well, that's went. what they were living in episode 1 when they moved to Blue Valley.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that was. Yeah, he showed up at the last address they were at before they moved to Blue Valley.
Yeah, but it's just it's interesting, and so we'll have to see what happens with it. It was neat. I'm sad about Chuck dying. I hope they can fix him. Yes. I hope that Dr. Midnight actually brings him back.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think she actually had a connection with him. Although maybe it's like she can bring him back, but it's not him, but it's now her as well.
Maybe, yeah.
Now it's maybe her engrams who becomes Charlene, and so it's like she's talking to herself.
Yeah, they're probably they're gonna upgrade the program somehow, and I bet you those goggles get more, modern or something.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that. So I'd like to actually see her in a real cool costume.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for the brother to click the pen.
Mike, yeah.
We know Mike is getting the Thunderbolt because I want the and half the way through this, I was expecting the Thunderbolt to click, and just undo it all.
Hey, took out Icicle.
That was weird.
I know. Well, he did fall off the building first.
Well, yeah. Well, he fell off the building, and that just like knocks the ice off him.
Yeah. And
then the truck shatters him.
Unless he can only take one hit at a time or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm guessing he reforms later. In fact, I was half expecting when we got the snow that was going to be and then it's like, Jack Frost kind of thing, I'm the snowman. But no, we didn't get that. We got really not much from that. We got her going out to fly her broomstick around, which is, okay.
Well, like I said to Lilith, I mean, I know she'd want to put the costume on so no one would see Courtney flying around, but wouldn't you put some pants on in the middle of winter? I know you hate pants, but still, if you're outside.
No, I don't know. No. Well, I'm guessing it's a heated star rod.
Maybe, yeah.
It's a hot star rod, and you don't want to ride a hot star rod wearing pants. Because
Lilith, is that you?
Yeah, but we got Eclipso, which is
yes.
Honestly, I don't know what to make of that because it's like, that's kind of a next level threat.
Yeah,
that's like a Shazam Superman level threat, and it's like, I'll break you out of your diamond Eclipso because. What bad could happen from that?
Well, and plus he can take over other people's bodies and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then we have the Shadow Magician.
Shade. Yeah.
Shade. Oh, that's Shade.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who that is, but okay.
He's like an immortal, but he has blackout powers and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so he's
dark force powers. Yeah.
Okay, so he's cool.
Yeah.
Who just obviously was like the elder. If he's immortal, I guess he's the elder member. He was
so he fought.
This is not gonna work. But I don't think we've seen the last of. I don't think we've seen the last of
Icicle.
Icicle.
Oh yeah, watch. He'll probably come back, and then Shade's gonna be like, "Boy, I let you have your turn. Now let your teacher show you how to do it."
Yeah. Well, exactly. It is what it is. For what it's worth, is the suggestion in this that the magician's mentor was Eclipso?
I don't know, maybe.
Because it suggested that the magician had killed his mentor before he could teach him everything. But that, maybe it's like, no, I imprisoned him because had I allowed him to continue, he would have destroyed the world. And that's where I have all my stuff. I just wanted to be a petty supervillain. I didn't want to take over the world. Like another petty supervillain we all know and love, Harley Quinn. Oh, Harley Quinn.
Did you watch both seasons or just the one?
I watched both seasons. I mean, there were a few episodes I fell asleep during because I tend to watch, because I have to watch it on my phone, which means I have to put it in headphones, which I have to hold it like this and put it on my belly and fall asleep. Because that's what happens when you're watching TV in your chair watching on a cell phone. But I know enough about it to get the gist of it. Yeah. It was a beautiful story. And it actually highlights to me what Harley Quinn did right that I do think Below Decks is doing wrong. And that is that I don't think Below Decks is either giving power-ups to its characters as well as giving them defeats.
Well, I mean, part of it, too, is like Harley Quinn and like most of the characters in that show, you already knew who they were before this episode 1. Lower Decks, we don't know any of these characters.
No, but, well, first off, that's not a good thing.
No.
You should know who your character is by the first episode. And we knew who they all were in the first episode. And in the second episode we got, it's really everything. And it's like, it's like, wow, man, don't be a living internet comment. Don't make internet comments sound rational. You should never make and this made internet comments sound rational.
I mean, Harley will make like bigger level jokes. I mean, Lower Decks right now, it just, there's only been 2 episodes.
Well,
but
I'm talking about. I'm talking about basic characterization. When we look at what's her name, Marina.
Okay, I think
Yeah, that's the captain's daughter, who's been disowned because I don't know why. Honestly,
she's a rebel, Dottie.
Yeah.
Well, no, my whole thing with Lower Decks, I mean, again, there's only been 2 episodes, but it just seems like instead of making bigger jokes, they're just like, oh, look at this quirky thing from Star Trek. Isn't this funny? That's
the thing. I can see that they want to have a through line.
Yeah.
Because we do have, and here's what I'll say. The most compelling characters in this show for me are the Andromedan nurse and the cybernetic engineer. Those 2 characters clearly have heart and soul and interesting storylines.
But there is a Marvel connection that I think it's the chief of security, that guy with the mustache.
Yeah.
Who's it? Fred Tatis or whatever, how do you say his name? Does the voice. He's the guy who does the voice of Hulk right now on those Avengers cartoons. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, and first off, I love that character. So, and that's the thing. It's like the first episode, it's all, upper decks suck and we're cool down in the lower decks. And I want to say the other character's name is Decker, who's the nerdy character, which I don't mind him being a nerdy character. Don't make the nerdy character bad at being nerdy. That's the thing. It's like if your defining character trait is I'm nerdy, then show how that nerdiness is a plus, not a negative.
I don't know.
And what they did instead was said, oh no, but Mary Sue is here. And God, I hate saying that. But it's like, dang. You're going to put this character in there. It's like, no, I've been around and so I have experience, and experience is better than knowledge. And books are stupid. Don't read books. It's like, okay, Rick.
I don't think he's nerdy. I think it's more the fact that he's, Mr. By the Book.
No. It's literally that he is. They even make a point that he just needs to read more books. That he just needs more knowledge. That he has studied all these cultures and all these languages. But there are still. But of course, you can't study everything. But if you go out there and just act stupid. You're going to meet things, and that's going to teach you everything you need to know. It's like, in no way does that make any sense.
Well,
because all that would have happened is, oh yeah, I dated one of that creature before. They didn't put eggs in my throat, but I learned that's what they do. And it's like, but I did that to annoy my parents. It is stupid.
Well, isn't that the whole selling point they sold this series on? They're like, it's a comedy, it's wacky. These people aren't good at their job.
First off, no. They're all very clearly good at their jobs, except for the one character they decided to be the nerd character.
Yeah.
And then they made him a toxic nerd, which I really hate. It's like they could have made him a nerd, but also had him be a respectful, intelligent, kind nerd. As most nerds should be.
Like they make him the negative stereotype.
They make him they made him a punching bag, and I don't like characters who are punching bags. You know, that's why I always identified with the villainous fat kid in 80s comedies. You know, the rich fat kid who had everything, but, you know, didn't have love at home. And I was like, well, that's the real tragedy. That kid doesn't have love at home.
Exactly.
If he doesn't have love at home, how do you expect him to be a decent person?
Mm-hmm.
You know, meanwhile, our Marina, or whatever the heck her name is, clearly has no love at home, but she gets to be the star. It's like you're subverting the entire 80s comedy trope now. Okay? You don't understand what you're trying to tell. You don't understand the storyline you're writing. And here's the thing. I liked episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think you hated episode 1. I liked episode 1.
I didn't hate it. Like I said, it just didn't really catch me, you know.
See, episode 1 caught me.
Okay.
Because I could say, oh, he's the nerdy one. She's the one with experience. They're the opposites. They're going to see how they build on each other.
Yeah.
And that is a perfectly acceptable dynamic concept. And they try to do that at the end of the second episode, but then they subvert it to say, no, that was her throwing him a bone.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets toxic about it. And it's like, it's like, who approved that script? Who said that was a good idea? First off, you can have her throw him a bone because she does understand he is super good at what he does do and he can be better. He can use all that knowledge in the way that he should. And he just needs one win. But then you can't let him be toxic about it.
Yes.
Because that undoes all the good she just did in it. And then you make it also, for what it's worth, just a completely stupid thing with, it's a Ferengi. No, I think it's an Ebolan. Ebolans are blue. No one's going to mistake a Ferengi for an Ebolan.
Well, I mean, that whole thing was a setup. But,
I know that, but that's the thing. They made the characters too stupid.
Yeah.
You can't make the nerd stupid.
Yeah.
It doesn't work if the nerd is stupid.
All right.
So season 2 killed me. Hopefully episode 3 will redeem it.
I was going to say, cut it there because, after episode 3, we're going to do a episode on our Patreon, Starfleet All Access. So, So
tune in there to find out if I like it now.
Does episode 3 redeem it?
Maybe it does, because I liked 1. I loved 1. Hated 2. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Mm-hmm.
As Meatloaf taught us. Okay.
Gotta give it 3.
Sorry. You got me running. Anyway, okay, Doom Patrol.
Yes.
Doom Patrol also had a finale on a cliffhanger.
Yes.
Because we don't know if Cliff's going to get to his daughter's wedding. It's a literal cliffhanger because Cliff is hanging there. I mean, I know they had cut it short because of COVID.
Yeah.
It was a talky season, but again, possibly because of COVID. And, it had its moments. I like that we had 2 separate TV intros by other members of the Doom Patrol about Victor, which is Cyborg, which is neat. Because it also just suggests that they're like, yeah, Victor and me, we're going to go do superhero. And it's like, because Victor's like the actual superhero in the group.
Yeah.
So it is fun and it's an interesting way to approach it. And so I like that. I like especially in those end episodes of Cliff reconnecting with his daughter, that they actually got that resolution. I like the fact that the whole thing is this rite of passage ritual for the chief's daughter, and literally that the chief doesn't want her to go on this ritual, possibly because he doesn't understand what it's going to be. And it is just that idea, I don't want my daughter to grow up, which is an interesting idea.
Yeah, but is it possible she could die too? Maybe just that.
Well, she could die, the world could end. You know, these are things that happen when you have sex with a mystical deity. You know, that's the thing. It's like,
watch where you stick your cock.
Well, you know, not for nothing. Yeah, definitely watch where you stick. Oh, thank goodness. One redeeming grace of Below Deck. No one has stuck their cock anywhere.
I don't think we've got any Vulcans yet. Yeah, no.
Well, actually, the one exception is that robotic Vulcan tech in the engineer's brain that does seem to be sticking its car around in there. So, got a robot car in his head. But anyway, yeah, no one's sticking their car anywhere. Although it was interesting to see Jane's story with Miranda.
Yes.
Especially going into this whole thing. And again, it goes into this weird thing where it's like, I guess it's supposed to be girl power, but it's also like, well, what did you want from the dirty hippie? You know, it's like you wanted this relationship to be what you wanted it to be, not what a relationship is.
Well, I think in the beginning she thought he was like a decent guy, but then basically, you know, at the end, you know, it's like big sex party. Basically throws her into the deep end of the pool because he wants to experiment with other people.
Well, but at the same time, and again, that's a real thing. But then again, there was this question within that of what was their sex life before that.
True.
You know, and that's the thing. You know, that's the thing. Like in my mind, you can tell the story of, oh, he's just a bad guy. But I can also wonder, it's like, oh, what was wrong with their sex life beforehand? Because we don't see their sex life beforehand.
Yeah, but I mean, she wasn't the healthiest mentally. So I mean,
well, exactly. Well, I mean, but how much does he know about that? That's the thing.
Yeah.
And we don't get. It's implied in that he might have known.
And again, back in the 60s, how much did they know about that at all?
Yeah. Well, because that's the thing is when Jane comes to the surface, she makes all these statements about, you knew that was going to do this and that. But it's like, well, how did he know? Did Miranda tell him about who she was? What the story was going on with her? You know? So it is an unreliable narrator. And I think if there's anything we should ever take away from a Jane story, is that they are told by unreliable narrators. You know? So... And because at first, when I first thought this, I thought, oh, is that like supposed to be Jane's mom and her husband? And then there's something that goes on, or that, you know, that's where Jane comes from. And that's why there's this negativity in their family dynamic. But no, that was actually just all Jane. So, you know, I'm interested to see what happens in episode 3. I got a little disappointed when we got the space visitors, expressly because clearly Buzz and Buzz and
so was it Skip
Specs.
or something? Specs, yeah.
Specs, the brains of the outfit, and of course the fact that they did them as the like kind of wacky caricatures. But I was like, no, they're gone. That's just the space spores running through this thing.
Well, I think they wanted to introduce that negative woman, and 2, I don't know if it was supposed to be a ripoff of Challengers of the Unknown, but maybe they don't want to do Challengers of the Unknown. So if they wanted to use them later, they could.
Yeah, well, exactly, and that was the thing. Is like the first thing that bugged me is like, why aren't they the Challengers? It's like, oh, because they wanted to do this to them. So I respected why they're not the Challengers.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I was like, oh, okay. But again, it was also just this weird thing, and the homoeroticism between Buzz and Specs was just weird.
Well, I mean, it was basically this like space fungus making them
Well, no, I mean, I guess it was like, it was basically, here is their homoeroticism, but it's sort of a replay of it. So it comes into this weird idea that, that's who they were.
I didn't even get that. What I got is just
He kept on calling him a smooth boy.
Okay. I just took it as the fungus couldn't literally translate like what they were. That was like its best attempt at translating.
Yeah, but I got the feeling that was the implication was that they were gay. I mean, sexual freedom is very much a part of this storyline.
Yeah.
This series. I mean, clearly the entire whole thing is, the chief's daughter is having her period and becoming a woman.
Yeah.
And now she must go on the rite of passage of her people, which is fight the Candleman.
Yeah.
Yada yada.
And again too, it was like space fungus driving their bodies. It's like how much do plants understand about human sexuality though too?
Yeah, I understand that. It just seemed weird about it. Yeah. It seemed a weird thing, and the idea that the Russian, and of course as she comes in and says, "I am the Russian," they call me Moscow because I am the Russian, but also just the idea that she's also been replaced in her own way by the negative spirit. So
yeah.
Which is also, for what it's worth, a kind of a warning to Trainer that, this negative spirit could theoretically replace you, where you're not your own self anymore. And that is a very scary idea. Nobody wants to be Carnage.
No.
We want to be Venom where, yes, we are interacting with our symbiote. We don't want the symbiote to be us.
You want to be you want to be the one in the driver's seat, yeah.
Well, and you think about it, to go back to the Star Trek references when you think of the Trill, and the idea of them having this thing that goes on beyond them, and it says it is you and it has all your memories, but is that you? What makes me me? And now that I'm part of you, am I still even me anymore? Is who I am a dominant force in a world that I am living with 8,000 other people who have been me before? It's a weird, scary concept. I don't trust the Trill. Stick in their cause wherever the heck they please.
Oh,
and
but before we run out of time, speaking of aliens and plant life, Empire.
Empire, yes.
Number 5.
Yes, I know Phil has to go to bed eventually, and so do I, because I'm already half asleep. Empire 5. Speaking about where you're going to stick your car. Why do people F with Omega level mutants? Because Billy Kaplan is the child, at least magically, of the Scarlet Witch.
Can't help who you fall in love with, Charlie.
No, but it's like, okay, so first off, here's what I'm going to say. If I were the Kree and the Skrulls, I wouldn't care about the Cody. I'd have just blown up that sun from the start. Let's say, let's come around the back, let's blow up the sun, call it a day. Tell your friends to get on it because we're going to blow up the sun because you guys are, or just leave them the heck alone. Maybe send a message to the Earth saying, hey, there's something weird going on with the Cody. I don't know if you guys know this. We've been having some weird problems with the trees. So, as with all superhero battles, it's sort of like, it's a big miscommunication. But it comes to this weird idea that they're going to kidnap Teddy, make him the king, and then his grandmom's going to take his place, which is all well and good. But let's talk about the real interesting thing in this, which is the She-Hulk plant versus Thing.
Yep.
Which is, again, why the Thing is my best character, because the thing about the Thing is not that he gets stronger the madder he gets. It's that the more you fight him, the tougher he gets, the more immovable, the more like a rock he becomes, which means that he has infinite soak to any battle he's ever in. No matter how much you punch him, you're not going to defeat him, which is what the champion said years ago. It's like, I might eventually be able to beat him, but literally I can't. Literally, his power set says that he's going to get up every time I knock him down. You know, he's like, is that all you got? I can do this all day. And unlike freaking Captain America, the thing actually means it.
Oh, yeah.
And so, that's why it's like, he can Hulk Hogan it, where he's like on the ropes and he's like, here's the crowd, and gets up and body slams you now. And that's exactly what he does to Plant She-Hulk. You know, because he's like, man, you're threatening to kill everybody, but all I can think about is these 2 dang kids I just met.
Yeah.
And the life that you're trying to take away from them. And it's like, no, I'm not going to let that happen. And he gets up and punches her and throws her a mile from that. And this whole time she's like, you know, oh, you don't understand. You know, I'm not a Hulk you faced before. I'm not rage. I'm not this. I'm not that. I am just the pure power pummeling down on you. He's like, yep, the problem is I can't give up. And that is the most beautiful part of this story. If it were not for the fact that Billy Kaplan is a freaking space god who can find his dear hubby, and we do find out they are legally wed.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing unseemly here. They're a married couple. Thank you very much. And the freaking man in the iron mask, poor Teddy, which is kind of silly because it's like, really? It's like, is that going to work when someone finds him? It's like, no. Gee, you're physically, aside from that face, look almost exactly like the Emperor.
I mean, if nothing else, is it just like a power dampener so he can't like change shape and stuff or something?
I mean, it's obviously that, but it's also like, it's like supposed to hide him. Keep him from transforming is the idea, but at the same time, it's like, yes, we've locked you in the image of the Emperor. So, and it is just this fact that, you know, of course, you know, and his grandma's going to be all, oh, I'll kill you all. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we have what makes this all fun is the Tony Reed side, which is, again, half the fun of the Empire story is that Tony and Reed are just in a lab, being lab nerds.
I know.
It's like, yeah, well, fight? No, that's probably not the best use of our powers. You guys all know how to fight, right? Okay, we're going to try and figure out other stuff.
But why is he making Reed armor? I'm like, I get it. Tony made a bunch of mistakes. If he doesn't want to be in charge, fine. But why doesn't he like, okay, Reed, you're in charge. Tell me what to do. Or Cap, you're in charge. Tell me what to do.
Well, first of all, I think he's making Reed armor because that's what Tony does.
Yeah.
It's like he says, this is my thing, you know? It's like, you know, it's like if it was Einstein, he'd be playing the violin. But it's like, so it's like, I'm going to build some armor. It always helps me think. It's like, you know, it's something I know to do and something I can build. And so he's building Reed armor, which, of course, if your main power is elasticity, is armor the best thing to have? I don't know.
I don't know if that armor stretches, because if you look at the sketches in the back, it looks like almost like that armor stretches maybe. So
it does? Oh, okay.
Maybe. There's like a sketch in the back where it looks like longer arms and stuff. Yeah, so I don't know if
So, where he just stretches and the armor parts stick with him. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, see? He's got his elongated, his Slender Man armor. Slender form. But it's like, okay, so here's the thing. The Cody will release the Death Blossom in 10 minutes, but then the sun will explode in 9. So gotta save the world in 10 minutes, twice over. Maybe we'll stop for coffee on the way. Which is sort of, I half expected that line from Tony in that. It's like, oh, great, we'll go do takeout between the two.
Shawarma.
Yeah, so we got time for shawarma then, right? We'll phone it in, we'll go to the sun, then we'll come back and deal with the Death Blossom.
No problem.
Yeah, I mean, I'm loving Empire. And, you know, so this was the thing that was supposed to be all month long kind of a thing, and they're like, no, let's just release them all week per week. And I think Marvel's gonna have a gangbuster month in August because they did this, and I think this may change the way they do these big events going forward. It's like, let's just do it like over 4 weeks, you know? Because when you think about like when you do like a big mini series, it's like over 4 weeks, you know, or over 5. You know, it's like let's just get it out there. We'll do a big thing. All the books can be in continuity in that moment. We'll catch it all up, and then we call it a day.
Oh yeah, because I think that they're releasing Captain Marvel's. It seemed like her issues are coming out like every other week or something. Yeah, I think it was just a log jam. They were just like, so stop. You know, all these aren't ahead of this one and this one. Yeah, they're just releasing everything.
But I'm going to bet you it's going to be one of these lucky accidents for them.
Yeah, they'll show them what they could do. Yeah.
It's like, wow, that like worked out great. Wait, are you saying we could actually do a big summer event every quarter? It's like, yeah, I mean, we could do that. Like, you know, first, like, so every March there'll be 4 issues of a big arc, and then in March, April, May, June. In June we'll do that, and then in September we'll do that, and then in December we'll do that. You know, and the December one will be the big one because it'll tie up all the other ones. And
Merry Christmas.
And Santa Claus saves the day, or maybe Hanukkah Harry if we want to be diverse. Or Kwanzaa-bat. We love Kwanzaa-bat. So yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like I really think economically this is gonna help them out.
Oh yeah.
But that's my theory. I don't know. What's yours? Do you have a super connected theory? If so, why don't you give us a call at our number, which is 614-382-2737. Leave us a voicemail. I would love a voicemail. I would love to hear your thoughts in your own words on our magical mystery phone line here at Capes and Lunatics at 614-382-2737 or 614-38-CAPES. That's the number you call, and you can give us a message. For those who don't know, CAPES, that is the, if you put ABC on the number 2 and then take off a Q. That's how they used to have letters on numbers on the phone. It's a thing. Anyway, so yes. So hopefully call us and we'll hear you. If there's another way to get in touch with us, and if you want to speak to one of us specifically, not me, like if you want to talk to Philip, how could they write you a letter?
Well, also you can send written stuff or audio to capesandlunatics@gmail.com. I mean, Capes and Lunatics and Super Connectivity are on Facebook, Twitter. Find Capes and Lunatics on Instagram. So there's plenty of places to get a hold of us.
Yes, and now within that whole concept, I do got to take a moment here to say, you know, I know there's a lot of things going on, and many of you may not have heard anything we just said. We may have been talking, and it's all garbled. And, you know, the reason why is because you're probably listening on substandard headphones because you haven't gone to tweakedaudio.com yet. That's Tweaked Audio, TweakedAudio.com. Tweaked Audio. Go there. Use the coupon code Southgate. Buy yourself some decent headphones. Okay? Just do that. And then when you're done with that, why don't you go over to huntakiller.com, where a tremendous detective by the name of Michelle Gray is trying to solve a cold case, and you're just sleeping on it. It's like having a escape room delivered to your house once a week. She's going to send you the clues. You use that big brain of yours that you're so dang proud of to figure out these clues and help her out, for God's sake. What is wrong with you people? Don't you care about these cold cases? But maybe you don't. Maybe you just want to spend money and just live your life in opulence and decadence. And then that's fine too. Go down to our show notes. Click on the link to Amazon. There is a plethora of things you can buy, including Pod Life the book. Yes, Pod Life the book in both hard copy and Kindle forms. You can purchase that and find out all about the lives of podcasters on the Southgate Media Group Network. And it doesn't cost you anything to buy the book. It doesn't cost you anything to buy anything on Amazon when you click our link, but it helps out the show, so please do that. And yeah, those are our sponsors. As for me, if you want to write to me in that old-fashioned email way, the way our mothers and fathers once did, do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And, of course, Follow me on Twitter for a reason I don't yet know. Because at this time, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has ended. So what will I live tweet? I don't know. Do you know what I should tweet? If so, tweet me at Charlie Esser. That's CHARLIE. Yes, SER. Look for the 2 E's in the middle. For
quality. Bing.
Thank you, Maz. Oh, caveat. If you want me to live tweet something, has to be something that's broadcast. Otherwise, I'll be live tweeting at odd hours. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you have connected with us this week. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please take a moment next week and super connect with us once again. Good night.
Good night. He's falling asleep.
Yes, absolutely. What? I was awake.
No. That's
All
right. He's been talking sleep.
I'm always talking in my sleep. What was this show about?
Season finales, all of them.
They were all good. Not a stinker in the bunch.
We're going to talk a lot of comics next week because all the shows are over.
Yeah. Well, hopefully there'll be some comics next week.
They're back. They're back.
They're back.